My dear friends, this video contains 3 short techniques which you can practice daily. One is a 5-minute alignment technique for maintenance of well-being, which you can practice morning and night. And then there are 2 short techniques on how to help heal yourself. One is a meditation, and the other is a 5-minute alignment. The video also covers an explanation of healing yourself and how. And so while you may watch it once, when you want to practice daily, you want to be able to get to the techniques right away. And therefore, we have broken this down into a number of tracks. And the easiest way for you to access the track on YouTube is to do the following. So you open the video, and then you go down to Show More, and you click Show More. And then you get all these different chapters. So you pick for example, if you would like to practice the alignment, you go to the alignment chapter and simply click, for example, here there's a healing one, simply click there and you go to the required chapter. So I hope you find this useful. Enjoy the video, and I hope that you can derive a great deal of value from the techniques we have shared. Take care and enjoy. Today, we're going to learn some simple and helpful techniques that we can practice every day to heal ourselves from depression, to elevate our spirits to much higher levels, which can help keep depressive thoughts outside of our being, keep downers outside of our being, and finally, to establish a state of being that is positive, happy, and constantly diffusing negative thoughts as soon as they begin to emerge. So our goal today is these 3. The techniques should help us heal ourselves from depression, elevate our spirits to much higher levels, well beyond the dark clouds of depression, and be able to constantly, consciously repel those negative, depressive thoughts as they come to us. And hopefully by the time we finish today, you will have 3 very useful techniques. Now let's start by looking at depression and taking a few moments to understand depression. Depression is a word we all know, but perhaps a closer look into the concept of depression may be helpful from the perspective of healing and maintenance of mental well-being. So, what is depression? Depression is a constant feeling of sadness and loss of interest, which stops you from doing your normal activities. So that's the first. The second is depression causes a loss of interest in activities you once enjoyed. And the definition also says that there are many different types of depression whose symptoms can range from relatively minor to severe. And finally, it also says that depression generally does not result from one single event, but from a mix of events and factors. The American Psychiatric Association says depression symptoms can include feeling sad or having a depressed mood, changes in appetite, weight loss or gain unrelated to dieting, trouble sleeping or sleeping too much, loss of energy or increased fatigue, increase in purposeless physical activity, for example, inability to sit still, pacing, hand-wringing, or slowed movements of the body or slow speech. These actions must be severe enough to be observable by others, but the slowing down is a telltale sign. Feeling worthless or guilty, difficulty thinking, concentrating, or making decisions, and thoughts of death and suicide. So these are some examples of typical symptoms, but each symptom can also be seen with other types of mental or chemical disorders. So there's not gospel that these symptoms are only from depression. But my purpose of laying these commonly known symptoms and definitions is not to have a class on psychology today or mental health, but rather to set out how depression is generally viewed across the board. And also to point out how serious depression can be. It can be very, very serious. And therefore, this purpose of this discussion is also to help us identify telltale signs of people around us who may be depressed, which means that depression deserves much closer attention than most of us give it. I think that this understanding may also help us see the signs and the writings on the walls if we notice a friend or a loved one or anyone display a behavior or behavior patterns that we need to be concerned about. And this can enable us to be helpful and not add to their problems by what we may want to say or do. Because sometimes we unknowingly hurt depressed people even further by our words and actions that come from our lack of awareness. And we're all guilty of it. I've done it too, is you don't realize someone is depressed and therefore you want to make your point or you want to express something and it just goes down with them like a lead balloon. So maybe being more mindful, being more aware, if we identify that potentially someone may be depressed, and no one's going to come and tell you they are, but you can see these signs. And if that's the case, then our whole approach towards that person changes. It becomes more nurturing, more encouraging. If a difficult discussion has to be had, maybe now's not the right time. We leave it for another time. But you begin to start helping that person because you are aware. So I would say that this understanding of depression, realizing the symptoms, can also trigger within us, that alarm bell to maybe help or seek help for a person who doesn't know that they need help, but they desperately may need help. But let's now move to looking at depression from a healing and spiritual perspective, because this is really where the solutions we are going to learn today come from. Let's see how we can draw upon the 85% of our mental capacity, which is not being used, which resides in our superconsciousness, in the cradle of our soul, at the highest level. Let's see how we can draw upon that level to help the 15% mind that is suffering from depression and depressive thoughts, because that 15% is our material mind. So let's see how we can use the higher level to help the lower level. Now, at the end of the day, it all boils down, one prime parameter that we must focus on is thought. Thought. Its energy, its quality, because in the end, thought is one of the driving roots of depression. So we have to come down to thought, its energy and its quality. And this thought even impacts body chemistry, and body chemistry on its own can unleash depression in unimaginable ways. But there always are triggers, and thought is one of them. If we want to heal or keep depression out of our beings, then we need to work with our own power of thought. And here I'm referring to drawing upon our enlightened thought, which comes from the level of the soul, our life energy. So that's the level of thought I'm talking about. Now, I've said on many occasions, my dear friends, that every time we think, we give birth to a thought which has life. And thoughts originate from 3 primary levels of consciousness. And I've talked about this in some length when we did the class on the 7 worlds, the world of formation. And we looked at the 3 levels of consciousness. But let's take a very quick look at that just for a moment. As you can see, the 3 levels of consciousness are the universal consciousness, or what we call the God consciousness, And this is the highest level of our consciousness. This is our super consciousness. And from here, enlightened thought is born. And this enlightened thought, we call them Azurons as well, but this enlightened thought flows through the existential consciousness or the consciousness of nature, and then from there it reaches the material consciousness. Now also, thought, enlightened thought, can also be born from the consciousness of nature too. So you have two levels of thought to draw enlightened thought. Then once it comes into the material consciousness, then what you have there is the lowest level of consciousness, because material consciousness is the lowest there is. Imagine if it were now in the universal consciousness, there's only light, there's no darkness. In the consciousness of nature, there's only light, no darkness. But all the darkness we've come across and we find is in the material consciousness. So if we are stuck in the material consciousness in a state of darkness or perceived darkness, it dampens our spirits. It lowers us down to a level where we become depressed. So the goal is to bring enlightened thought from here and break up the clouds of darkness and bring light here so that you lift the spirits up and you are out of that depressive state. So basically, universal consciousness is pure light and life energy, super consciousness. Existential consciousness of nature, consciousness of nature also produces pure light, no darkness, so enlightened thought comes from these two places. And the material consciousness is where we suffer depression, and this is where, because we are engrossed in that darkness, we have to bring the light and dispel the darkness. And this is how we heal ourselves from depression. So the most powerful level of our being is our superconsciousness, which is the home of our soul. And then the next level is the consciousness of nature. Now, the enlightened thoughts from these two powerful levels are able to flow into the material consciousness using the technique we're going to learn today, where they have the ability to break these clouds of darkness and restore light. And the techniques that we are going to learn today are going to be very focused with this end goal. But these techniques help us even if we are not depressed, because we all get bombarded with negativity. We all get thoughts that dampen our spirits. So you don't have to be depressed to practice it. But it's a good well-being technique as well to maintain good mental health. Now, in that context, apart from practicing the techniques, it's also very important to recognize the role nature can play in healing depression. Because we also recognize that light, that enlightened thought can come from nature as well. So even just going out and spending time in some quiet place in nature by yourself opens up the thoughts of light in our being. And this can be a great help with depression. So just spending time in nature is very, very therapeutic for depression. Now, if someone is depressed, for example, it's good to expose him or her to time in nature. And he or she may start to feel that deep sense of relief from within as nature opens its doors to its light. So this can be very therapeutic for a person suffering from depression. And it's well worth considering because it's something we can all do. Spend time in nature, take our friends and loved ones into places where they will feel that relief, because when you are depressed, you feel claustrophobic from within. You've got clouds around you. And yet nature is vast and open and free. And so it can help break open that cage for them so they can breathe again freely, with complete freedom. So now, going to nature is one solution. Now let us come to our techniques for today. So before we go into the technique specifically for depression, let's do a quick recap of the Azuron technique. An Azuron technique is a simple, practical, meditative technique that empowers each one of us to sharpen our focus, to heal ourselves, to restore our body, mind, and emotions, and to maintain a continuous state of well-being. I'll do a quick recap of the body and its 6 energetic and intelligence fields because you're all very familiar with it. But for those of you who are attending here today for the first time, these are the 6 energy or intelligence fields of the body. We start with the light field at the top. And this light field is what connects the body to the source of its creation. This is where life force comes to the body, through the light field, and hence it's called the light field. And as you notice, the shape of each field is a conical pyramid. And what that is an inverted vortex. So this shape allows anything to go down to the smallest of the smallest of the small, but that vortex doesn't close. Or to the largest of the largest of the large, and the vortex never sees an end. So it's infinite at both ends. And this is where we draw light to our beings, which comes to the center of our forehead. And then from there, the next is the sensory field, which is what we're going to work with today for healing depression. This is the field which houses our 6 senses, our 5 senses plus the mind. And this is, once we align this, we always align it with peace. We bring light into our senses and our mind, and we align it with peace. Then the next is the field of air, which is our respiratory field. This field governs our breathing, intake of oxygen, release of carbon dioxide. Everything to do with air and respiration is governed by this field. Next is the field of flow, which is where the heart is. And this is where all the fluid flow in our body is governed. So we've got, the blood flows to different parts of the body, goes to the lymphatic system, delivers nutrients, collects toxins, brings it down to the liver for cleansing. The full flow is governed by this field of flow. And then through this series, we will be learning more about aligning this one and healing different illnesses, aligning this one and helping ourselves heal from different conditions. Then we go to the field of cleansing, which is extremely important. And this is where all the cleansing organs of our body are. So this is where our intestines are, our liver, our kidneys, everything is in this field. And this is where a lot of us end up having health challenges, is in the cleansing field. But it's not because the problem is here. The problem can be here, the sensory field, or it can be in the other 2 fields. And then finally, the last field is the earth field. And this field connects the body from life flow all the way to the earth, which is the home of the physical body. And if you look outside, you've got this outer field, which is actually just an extension of the light field. And so that's what I call the outer field, and that's the light field as well. But it covers your full being. So these are the 6 fields that we will be working with, but today it's going to be the light and the sensory. Let me also explain one very quick and important point. You saw the different fields. And recognize that there are 5 niches in your body. So the light field, which connects to your source, to the universe, to your creator, to life force, connects through this niche, which is in the center of your forehead. Okay? And we have talked a lot about this, even in the context of meditation. So this is the first niche. The second niche is at the base of your chin. So each niche is a hollow in your body. If you're in doubt, feel them. This one. The next niche is the hollow in your chin. And so from forehead to chin is where the sensory field is, which is what we will be working with. And from there, we go to the third niche, which is at the base of the neck. And there's another hollow, which is the field of air. Then there's the fourth niche in the solar plexus, which is the field of flow. And the fifth niche is just above the pubic area. And so that's where the field of flow and the cleansing field, that's how it's housed. And then the last one goes from that fifth niche to the space between your 2 feet, which is where we're grounded to the earth. Okay, so those are the niches to remember. And the videos we have produced so far on the healing techniques cover this in great deal of detail. So if you haven't seen them, please see them. So now, today we are going to work with the sensory field. And as I said, the sensory field resides between the center of the forehead and the base of our chin, between these 2 niches. And the sensory field houses our 6 senses. Our eyes, through which we can see everything. Our ears, that enable us to hear sounds. Our nose, through which we breathe and have a sense of smell. Our tongue, through which we can taste our food, water, and everything else. And the 5th sense is our skin, with all its sensors, through which we can sense touch. And our mind, which takes all the outputs from the 5 senses, sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell, integrates it to give us the human experience, together with a couple of other factors. So let's summarize the sensory field with this simple illustration, which you've also seen before. So this is the sensory field, from the center of your forehead to the base of your chin. And this is where the 5 senses are housed: sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch. And look at this conical pyramid, the shape I explained to you. And then the 6th sense being the mind. And the mind integrates all this and all this to give you the human experience. So from here we flow to our awareness, because these senses give us our sense of awareness. Our memory resides here. Our thoughts and emotions are also part of the sensory field. And they all flow to the rest of the fields in the body. So this is the sensory field, which plays an extremely important role. As I said, the human experience is the sum total of our 6 senses, our thoughts and intelligence, our memory, our awareness, and our emotions. And there may be other items, but these put together make the bulk of all the colors that get mixed in our mind to paint the human experience for us. So now let's move to depression. But before we start the technique on depression, let's prepare ourselves by opening our light field and opening our sensory field. And if you remember in last class, I taught you a 2-minute alignment with which we can start our day, end our day, and it basically opens our light and sensory fields. So let us start with that, and let me quickly show you the illustration, and then we'll do it together. So we'll be well prepared with clarity to then take in the technique on healing depression. So one more illustration. This is how we're going to align the light and sensory field today, and this is that quick reset button I've always talked about. So we'll start from here, which is our hands go as far up as they can together, and we draw light from the universe, from our source, from the superconsciousness. We draw light. And we come down with our hands to light, and we keep repeating light. Then our 2 hands go on the 2 sides of the pyramid. We repeat light, and then the 2 hands go back up. And this is how we draw light into our body. And it comes to the center of our forehead. Then we take this light and we spread it into the sensory field using the word peace, because we want to put the sensory field at complete peace. So we go peace, then with 2 hands this way, peace, peace. So we do light, which we'll repeat 3 times, peace, which we repeat 3 times, and then we do the full being with light. So hands go far up to the top, and we go this way and this way, covering our entire being with light. And then we take a moment and pause and just keep focusing on the word peace for a few seconds. And we're ready, reset button. set, light field open, sensory field at the level of peace and light, and you are ready to go forward with your day. So let's do that first to prepare ourselves so we can take in the depression technique quite easily. So let's open the light field. I'm going to do it only once with eyes open, and then we'll close our eyes and we'll just do the full technique. So we will start with hands as high up as you can go, and you bring light to the center of your forehead. So we'll go light, light, light. And we'll do that 3 times, okay? Light, 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 light. And with this, we open our light field and we end with light back here. And then we will open our sensory field with light, which we have drawn here with the word peace. So we'll go peace, 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 peace. Okay, and now we do the full being. As far up as you can go, and we go light. Spread light in your whole being. Light, light. And then we sit with our hands together and with our eyes closed, and we keep repeating the word peace, peace, peace. We repeat that for maybe 30 seconds, and our reset button is pressed. Our day is ready to go. Our light and sensory fields are fully aligned. So now, close your eyes. And let's do it together, okay? So eyes closed, and let's start by opening the light field. So we're going to go light, 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 light. And focus on light. Light, light, light. Light, peace, 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 peace. And then we spread light in our full being by starting at the top, and we go light, light, light. And then with hands together, focus deeply on the word peace, peace, peace. Keep repeating peace. Okay, you may open your eyes. So the light field is open. You feel that luminous awakening within. You put light in all your 6 senses, including your mind, so you've already got enlightened thought flowing there. And we put peace, and it's all aligned, okay? So this I recommended that you practice every day morning, every day night. Doesn't take more than 2 minutes, and we'll call this the reset alignment. Now, having done that, we're now ready to go into the healing technique for depression. So this technique for depression, healing depression, has 3 parts. The first is a self-healing alignment of the sensory field to diffuse depression and to heal ourselves. So there is an alignment through which we will diffuse depression and will heal depression. The next technique is a short healing meditation to dispel the energies of depression and fill our being and mind with light. So there's an alignment, there's a meditation, and we'll do both. And I'll do the guided alignment and I'll do the guided meditation, just like we did for anxiety, but a different technique. And then there is a third technique which I'm going to teach you today, which is a 60-second technique you can use at any time during the day if you start feeling down or depressed. Because negative thoughts, depressive thoughts come at us all the time. So this quick 60-second technique allows you to dispel it and restore and fill yourself with light. So that will be the third technique you will learn. Okay? And with depression, you have to actually use all three because you want to keep those clouds away. You want to keep the dampening thoughts away from your being. Now, so I recommend if you are trying to heal yourself from depression, that you do the alignment, the healing alignment for depression, and then you do the meditation in one session, first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning before you start with life's activities, before your mind gets busy. Definitely before you check your smartphone and check your messages. So do these two steps before your mind engages with the world. This is very, very important. And then during the course of the day, if you start feeling depressed, use the 60-second technique. And if you need more help, then repeat the depression, the healing alignment for depression as well. Because all these are short techniques, but this is the way you will keep depressive thoughts away from you. You will lift those clouds away and you will keep them away from you. And finally, when you go to bed, I would recommend you do the healing alignment for depression one more time. And again, shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes to do it before you go to bed. If you're healing yourself from depression, then you don't need the reset one because you are opening the light field. If you find the reset technique, that simple light, peace, and full being light, if you find that that's really helpful, then do that as a normal course. But this is specifically for healing depression. Now remember, as we learn to align and heal the sensory field, remember that depression involves gaining freedom from the dark clouds and thoughts that dampen our spirit. So healing from depression means gaining freedom from them. It also means that healing technique should allow us to raise our spirits and ascend above all darkness into the light. So gain freedom, raise your spirits, and then the third is to fill our being with light, peace, and healing. So this alignment, the healing alignment for depression, has 6 steps. The first step is to open the light field. We've already done that, but we will do it again. Second is to open the sensory field and align it with peace. Okay, and you all know how to do it, but we will do it together. Then third one is to heal our 6 senses. So just like we did with anxiety, we will go heal in this area. Our 6 senses go into a state of healing. Then the fourth step is to receive pure freedom from everything that holds us down. So we are going to invoke freedom in our 6 senses, in the sensory field. And then the fifth step is to rise above everything, to rise above all darkness. And so we will do that in the sensory field. And then finally we'll fill our whole being with light, which is the outer field. So those are the 6 steps. They're quite simple. As you practice them, they'll come to you naturally. Initially, you can follow the guided alignment on the video, and soon you can do it without the help of the video. So let's do the healing alignment now. And we're going to do it with the eyes open. I'm not going to repeat 3 times. I'm just going to do it once. But when we actually practice it, each step is 3 repetitions. So first, we will start with light, light, light. And we will do that 3 times, okay? Then we go to peace, peace, peace. And we'll do that 3 times. Then we will go to, and once we finish the peace, we will pause and we will repeat peace for a few seconds. So we will take in the peace. Then we will come to the healing, where we start from here and we will go heal, heal, heal. And we'll do that 3 times and then pause and focus on the word heal, 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 with our eyes closed. That's the 3rd step. Then the 4th step is to gain freedom from all darkness. So we're going to start from here and go freedom, 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 freedom. And we'll do that 3 times, okay? And that's how we gain that freedom from this, with the strength of the light, from all darkness. Then we pause for a few seconds and focus on the word freedom, freedom, freedom. Then the 5th is to rise above all darkness. So we're going to go rise, 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 rise. And we'll do that 3 times. And then we'll focus on the word rise with our eyes closed. So now we have taken in light, peace, freedom, and we've risen in our spirits away from darkness into the light. And then the last one being light, light, light. And that we pause again and just keep repeating light, light, light. So we fill our full being with light. So this simple 6-step technique, in essence, opens the light field, aligns the sensory field with peace, so we fill all our senses with peace. Then we heal our sensory field, so there's light, peace, heal. Then we gain freedom. Then we raise our spirits beyond everything towards the light. And finally, we fill our being with light. Okay? So let's close our eyes and just follow me. And remember, each time it's 3 repetitions. Okay? So let's start with the healing alignment for depression. So take your hands right up as far as they can go into the light field, and we bring light, 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 light. And then we align our sensory field with peace, 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 peace. And then take a few moments with our hands together and pause and repeat peace, peace, peace. And then we seek healing in our sensory field. So we place our hands in the center of our forehead and we go heal, 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 heal. And then with our hands together, we pause and continue to focus on the word heal, heal, heal. And then we seek freedom from all darkness. So again, hands in the center of your forehead, and we go freedom, 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 freedom. And then with hands together we pause and keep repeating freedom, freedom, freedom. As we free ourselves of all darkness, keep repeating the word freedom, freedom. And finally, we seek to rise above all darkness, rise above everything towards the light. So we place our hands in the center of our foreheads and go rise, 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 rise. Rise, rise, rise. And with our hands together, we keep focusing on the word rise, because we have raised ourselves, raised our spirits into the light. Rise, rise, rise. And finally, we fill our beings with light. So you take your hands right to the top of the light field, and you spread light in your whole being. Through the outer field, you go light, light, light. And with both hands together, we pause and keep repeating light, light, light. Light, light, light. Your being is filled with light, peace, healing. You have gained freedom from all darkness. You have raised your spirits above everything into the light, and you are filled with light. And you may now open your eyes. And you've let go of all depression, because you brought in your enlightened thoughts, filled your mind, your senses, your being, healed yourself, gained freedom, and risen high, high, high above anything that can ever engage you or hold you down. So this is the alignment technique for healing from depression. And for those who are suffering from it, you can derive a great deal of value from it. So I urge you to practice it every morning and every night. And so we did the reset button, which is just general for well-being. We've done the healing alignment for depression. And now we're ready to learn the meditation for depression. And then I will explain the meditation briefly, and then we will do a guided meditation. And this meditation is important because we will be able to free ourselves from depression. And this meditation we can also use to help others who are in need of help. Because people who are depressed can't always help themselves. So we can help them. So we'll start with healing ourselves, and then I will add a couple of steps on how you can help heal others that you wish to carry with you into your healing meditation. So I hope you're all ready to practice the meditation for healing depression. Now, first, let me walk you through the key steps. And the first part is that I'd like you to take a moment and choose the name you ascribe to your Creator. I will use the word light in the meditation. And based on your personal beliefs, you may use God, Allah, Krishna, Father, nature, universe, origin, whatever you believe is your source. So when I say in the meditation, heal in the name of the light, you can replace light with the word you've chosen. So you may be saying, heal in the name of God, or heal in the name of Allah, heal in the name of Krishna, heal in the name of the Father, heal in the name of the universe, heal in the name of the origin. So choose your word. This meditation is completely universal, and that's why it's really important that for it to work, you must choose the word that you completely believe is the source of your creation, the source of your life force. Okay? Now, in this meditation, today, we're going to follow a different path. With the anxiety, we had the apple tree, which was very appropriate to cleanse our way and get rid of anxiety. Today, we're going to focus more on a path to light. And once we reach the stage of being in the presence of the light, then there we will seek healing in the name of the light. We will seek peace in the name of the light. We will seek to gain freedom in the light. We will seek to realize our place in the oneness. And when you are oneness, you are not worthless. You are worth everything. You are priceless. You are limitless. So when you are in oneness, you are everything. You have everything to celebrate, nothing to lament. Then after that, you will fill your being with immense power from light, so that you are able to dissipate forever all the clouds of darkness or all that dampens your spirit when you have that power of the light with you. So as we practice the meditation, I think you will remember just the general framework I've given you right now. Okay? So let's now practice the meditation for healing depression. So please close your eyes and be completely relaxed. Be completely relaxed. And breathe freely. And I'd like you to imagine that you're standing on top of a tall mountain. And it's a bright early morning sun. The rays of the sun, you can see them come through and touch the grass on the ground, making the dewdrops sparkle. In front of you, there is a lake of crystal clear water. Around you, there's trees, flowers, birds. It's a beautiful setting of nature. Take a moment and absorb the nature and look at the beautiful rays of the sun as they reach the grass. And then in front of you, you see one of these rays touching the grass, and you step into the ray. And once you step into the ray, you're surrounded by a bright, warm, loving light. And you start rising up the ray towards its source. And you rise up the ray, and as you look below, the mountain is getting smaller and smaller and smaller until it finally disappears. And you keep rising up the ray until you finally reach its source. And when you step into its source, it's just a bright, warm, loving light. This is the light of healing, the light of creation, the light of peace. And in the presence of this light, you repeat the words, heal in the name of the light. Heal in the name of the light. Heal in the name of the light. And you will replace light with the name of your Creator. As the light of healing flows through you, reaching every cell in your body, every element in your being, filling your mind, your body, your emotions with healing, with light, as you keep repeating, heal in the name of the light. Heal in the name of the light. Heal in the name of the light. And in the presence of the light, we seek the blessing of peace. And as the light of peace fills our being, the peace reaches every element of our being as you repeat the word peace, peace, peace. And let the light of peace fill your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, your body. Fill everything with peace, peace, peace. Keep repeating this word for a few moments. Peace. And in the presence of the light, you seek freedom from all darkness, freedom from everything that gets you down as you repeat the word freedom. 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 As the light of freedom fills your being, freeing you from everything that has ever held you down. Freedom. 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 As you gain pure freedom by the blessing of the light, you keep repeating freedom. Freedom, freedom, freedom. And in the presence of the light of oneness, you seek to become oneness as you repeat in your mind, I am oneness. I am oneness. I am oneness. And you keep repeating the word oneness, oneness, oneness. Keep repeating for a few moments. Oneness. And in the light of oneness, I am everything. I am priceless. I am limitless. And in the light of oneness, you repeat, I am limitless, limitless, limitless. Keep repeating the word limitless, limitless. Limitless, limitless, limitless. In the light of oneness, I am everything. I am priceless. I am worth everything. I am limitless. Nothing can hold me down, for I am oneness, oneness, oneness. And in the presence of the light, you seek the blessing of light to fill your being as you repeat, light, light, light. As your entire being is filled with light. Your mind is filled with light. Your emotions are filled with light. You are truly empowered by light, light, light. Light, light. You are truly, truly empowered with light. And it's time to take this light and step into the ray, carrying with you the blessing of freedom, healing, light, and oneness. As you descend the ray and go back down towards your world. And as you travel down the ray, you come across dark clouds that cover the world. And you, with the light, you break through these clouds and you repeat in the name of the light, disperse, 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 disperse forever, disperse, disperse. And as you repeat the word disperse, the clouds break up into small, tiny particles and disperse completely and disappear, allowing the bright, warm, loving light to reach the earth, to reach your world, to reach all creation. Disperse, disperse, disperse. And now there is no more cloud. There's only light. And you are truly empowered by the light. As you descend, and you can see now the mountain before you, and you finally step onto the grass again, and you keep repeating, light, light, light. Your being is filled with light, filled with peace, filled with healing. You are completely free. You are pure freedom. You are oneness. You are light, light, light. No clouds, no depression, nothing can ever get you down. For you are light, light, light. You may open your eyes when you're ready. This is a truly blessed way of gaining that grace from the light, healing yourself, gaining that freedom, being in oneness, dispelling all darkness, because where there is light, there can be no darkness. Practice this meditation every morning when you wake up. do the alignment, the healing alignment first for depression, and then practice this meditation. Now, you can use this meditation to heal yourself every day. And also remember that many people who are depressed cannot often help themselves. And they need help from those who love them and care for them. So alignment is, if you want to learn as a practitioner to use alignment to heal others, and that requires more learning. But from a meditation point of view, if you want to help someone, whether it's a friend or a loved one, whoever it is, and you want to help them heal from depression, then you add a couple more steps to the meditation we just practiced. So what do we do? When you have closed your eyes and breathed freely and reached the top of that mountain with the green grass, with the light of the sun, the rays of the sun coming down, and you're all ready for your journey of healing, at that point, think of this person. With deep love in your heart, think of this person. And then embrace him or her into your being with so much love that you and this person become one being. Okay? If there's more than one person, then you can think of all of them that you would like to help heal from depression. Embrace them in your being with pure love, and now become one being. And then step into the ray. Then don't think of them anymore. Step into the ray and follow the same guided meditation we just did. When you enter the source, you go through heal in the name of the light. You then fill your being with the light of peace. You then gain freedom from all darkness. You then become oneness. And when you are oneness, you are worth everything. You are not worthless. You are priceless. You are everything. You are limitless. So gain that power from the oneness. And fill your being with light. And then come down the ray. And when you encounter those dark clouds that are covering the world of yours, you break them. You disperse them with ease. And they just break into small particles until they disappear. Because you have so much, you are so empowered. There's so much light. And where there's light, one single ray can dispel an entire sky of darkness. So you then come through. So all the people who are in with you as one being have gained all this. Then when you reach the end and you step onto the grass, then you let them go with the words love and light, love and light, as you open your embrace with love and light, and you let them go on their journeys. So if you want to help others suffering from depression with this meditation, then you just add those extra steps. I don't need to redo the whole meditation because you know what to do. Embrace them into your being at the start, and then let them go at the end with love and light. And that way, God willing, I pray you will be able to help many people who are in need of help. Now, let us come to that final short technique, which is literally a 60-second technique. But this technique is very useful because negative thoughts, depressive thoughts, feelings that dampen us, they come at us at all times during the day. So this technique is very helpful in pushing them away and filling your being with light. Now, this technique works best if you have opened your light field through your daily alignment. So either every morning through your reset alignment, which is just light, peace, and light, and focus on peace. If you've done that and you've opened your light field, then this technique is very effective. If you haven't, it is still helpful, but an open light field is very, very powerful. And so, if you haven't opened your light field, open it first, just once through the day. And then you press that reset button, light field open, and now you practice this 60-second technique. Now, how does it work? So, very simply, you sit quietly wherever you are, peacefully for a moment. And then take your finger and your thumb and create this circle in front of you, okay? And you look into this circle. And you want to fill this circle with light. Remember, your light field is open, so you can do anything. And you start filling this circle with light, light, light. And then you close your eyes and keep repeating light, 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 till the circle is filled with light. And then you open your fingers and you release the light. And this light eliminates all darkness around you. It fills your being with light. It pushes away all negativity. So very simple technique. You start with a circle, you look at it, start filling it with light. You close your eyes, keep filling with light. Open your fingers. So now there's no circle. The circle is opened up and you've released all the light to dispel all darkness and fill your being with light. Okay? So remember, fill with light, release light. Fill with light, release light. We'll only do it once. Now, let's do it together. So sit back, and you'll find that once you practice it, you'll feel very refreshed. You'll feel very enlightened by that simple invocation of light. So sit back and form your circle, and look through the circle, and start repeating light, 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 as you wish this circle to fill with light. And then you close your eyes and keep filling the circle with light, light, light. And you can see the circle filling with more and more and more light until it is so bright as you repeat light, 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 light. Keep repeating the word light, light, light. And the circle is now filled with light. And you open your fingers and you release the light, and the light dispels all darkness in front of you. The light fills your being. The light flows through you. You become pure light, light, light. And you take a few seconds and just keep repeating light, light, light. And you can then open your eyes. A very short technique. With the light field open, it's very powerful. So simply, fill the circle with light, close your eyes, keep filling that circle with light as you keep repeating light. Release the light, put your hands down, and just keep repeating light. As that light flows through your being, suddenly there's no negativity. You're completely refreshed. You're filled with enlightened thought. Remember, you're drawing that light from the universal consciousness, from the God consciousness, from the super consciousness. It's very powerful. There's no darkness can stand in its way. And it's so quick. Fill the circle with light, release the light, let it flow. Take a few moments and just keep repeating the word light, and you've dispelled that negativity. 60 seconds, very simple. So I hope today you have found or you have learned a lot of useful techniques. Remember, every morning your reset alignment, very nice, very short, very helpful. If you're practicing healing for depression or not, You practice that. But then you sit down on a focused way and do your alignment for healing depression, which is the 6 steps. Very simple 6 steps. And then you stop, you relax, turn on your video, go into the guided meditation, and go and bring so much light that you're truly empowered above all depression. You come back and you're ready for life. And you can do that also for those you love and your friends. You can take them with you into the light because you're one being. But remember, when you're there, don't think of them anymore. You're thinking of exactly the steps you're practicing in your meditation. You come back, and when you shatter those clouds, even they are freed. And then you let them go. And then this 60-second technique is just a fantastic gift from the universe, which I hope you will use more and more frequently. And we will use it later on in healing as well, because you always want that short, quick burst. So with that, I thank you all very much for being here today, for bringing so much light and energy into our meditation. Please share this technique with people. Share the meditation. Remember, last class, we shared a very sad example of Adam, and we all made a commitment that we're going to try and help people everywhere, whether they're aware that they have a mental health challenge or not. But we're going to help them by sharing techniques that will just bring light and strength and empowerment, as a result of which their well-being will be enhanced, and at the same time, they do not fall victim to some of these challenges which could have been avoidable. So please take this knowledge and do the best you can with it. And the next time we have the class, we will be taking another dimension of mental health healing. And please invite your friends and family and all those who can benefit from it to join. Because remember, when we do it together as a group, it is much better than just listening to a video. But even the video is powerful in itself. But being present here today, we are sharing a lot of energy together. And you all brought tremendous energy and light today, for which I thank you very much. And I pray that you may all be blessed with a lot of peace, happiness, and light in your lives. And may the light of our Creator always be with you, to help you, guide you, protect you, and love you always. Take care and stay blessed.